Well, hello. This is Rosa, RCG Creations. How are you doing? We're making tonight, we're going to do two batches. One that we're going to eat tonight for supper, and then one that I'm going to freeze and put it in a casserole dish. So I'm going to watch to the very end so you'll see how to freeze a meal for later use in your freezer. There's a certain way you got to wrap it because it's a casserole type of dish, okay? And you want to keep it from getting freezer burn, so watch to the very end on that phase. And I'll put in the description box what point you get to that freeze, so those who want to cheat and go to the end, y'all can go ahead and do that. But I will put it in the description box, the full menu, the full recipe with the ingredients, and I'll do a pop-up just of the ingredients. And I'm going to try to do the picture. I keep on forgetting to do pictures, but I'm going to try to do pictures, and it'll be somewhere toward the end of the ingredients that I used to make tonight's dinner. Okay, this is called tamale pie. So what we're doing is we're going to, since I'm double batching, I'm just doubling the recipe. Okay, so we got, I just had this in here to store so I wouldn't break my eggs. We're going to get 2 eggs. Typically it calls for 1, but we're going to do 2. So if you want to make just one meal, then I like to scramble these up because I want to make sure my eggs are all mixed up. And then I get my yucky towel, wipe my hands. My oven's on preheat at 400. So now I'm just going to whisk my eggs. I just want to mix them up so they're pretty well mixed up. And my allergies have been rough on me today, so I got a runny nose. I've been blowing it. The allergies are bad. Okay, so that's mixed up good enough for me. Put it in my sink to do my dishes a little bit later. Okay, so this recipe is I'm gonna tell you a quick little gist. 1 cup of Jiffy corn mix, which we have right here, a box. Actually, excuse me, 1 box of Jiffy corn mix, 1 egg, 1/2 cup sour cream, 1/2 cup of creamed corn, which here's our creamed corn. 1 pound of ground beef, 1 onion. We're not going to do onion because hubby doesn't like onions, so I'm going to do onion powder. 3 cloves of garlic minced, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 10-ounce can of red enchilada sauce, where you go. Cheddar cheese that's shredded, Monterey Jack cheese that's shredded, small handful of cilantro leaves chopped, 1 fresh jalapeno, optional, that's if you like a little spice, which we're not doing that, and some sour cream for the topping to go on top, which I'm not doing that because I'm not too swift on sour cream. Hubby loves it, so he's going to get his sour cream put on top, but I'm not doing it. Okay, so let's get down to the recipe. Okay, so preheat the oven to 400, which is doing. You want to grease an 8x8 Pyrex casserole pan, which I've already greased 2 of them over there, and you'll see those in a minute. So we're going to combine our egg, our sour cream, and our creamed corn. So let me bring you over so you can see in view. Our sour cream. Oh, my timer's up. My oven's ready. Okay. That's good enough. Okay, put this in here because I don't need this anymore, I don't think. Wipe my hands. Okay, so combine the egg, the sour cream, the creamed corn. So I'm going to put both cans of creamed corn. And you won't go ahead and get all the stuff on the very bottom of the can. I'm going to save my can for my picture for my video afterwards. Okay, add the cream corn and then Jiffy mix. You know, when I mix this up, just in case, I want to make sure that sour cream is really mixed up good. And then I can add the corn mix. Oh, look at that. See how pretty it's looking? Mix up all that sour cream and the corn and the eggs. There we go. We're adding a whole box. And this other box. See, this box is 8.5 ounces. The recipe didn't say how much. Sorry guys, my back is dying. I'm hurting. I did something yesterday I shouldn't have done, but oh well, life happens. You gotta do stuff, you gotta get chores done, things have to happen. Okay. So now I'm just gonna mix this all up. I'm glad I got a nice size spoon. So don't forget, go all the way down to the middle center and bring it up to make sure everything gets mixed up very well. Do not use a mixer because you've got whole kernel corns, so don't use a mixer because it'll break up your corn. Just take your time, use your spoon or spatula, whatever it is that you're using. I like to pick up in the middle and up, pick up in the middle and up, and then I rotate the bowl. Do the same thing and repeat the steps. That way you pretty much get everything all mixed up. Okay, I think that's pretty much mixed up pretty darn good. You just double check one more time from the middle, make sure there's nothing floating on the bottom, middle, center of the pot, the bowl. Okay, so that wore me out. Only because my back is, I'm really hurting right now. But anyway, it goes. Okay, so mix it all up, and then you put it in the casserole dish, and you bake it for 20 minutes or until it's golden brown. Then we're going to remove it from the oven, and then we're going to put it to the side. And then we're going to come to the next phase, which is you brown your ground beef with your onions, add your garlic, and then you drain it. You add salt, cumin, and chili powder. We're going to poke holes in the cornbread. Pour about half a cup of enchilada sauce over the cornbread, and we'll get to that next phase. Okay. Do yourself a favor. Go to your Goodwill or thrift store and see about getting you some glass Pyrex casserole pans. That way you can have extra pans. So if you want to make some freezer meals, like casserole meals, breakfast meals, these are really great to make, like I'm doing tonight. I'm going to be making this anyway. So why not make a double batch or a triple batch, depending on how big your family is. And you have a meal ready for a night in the week. All you have to do is take it out the night before, leave it out, let it thaw out, put it in the bottom of the fridge. I would leave it out overnight, just so it thaws out in the center, depending on what it is that you made. Oop, I got a little straggler here. And since I don't know how much is in what, I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this, but I can't pick this up, it's too heavy for me. And then I'll be able to pour and make an equal amount in each dish. Okay, I think, yeah, I can pour it now. This is why I like to use bowls that have a spout to it. It makes pouring so much easier. And hubby's looking at you like, ooh, ooh, you make a funky face. I'm going to turn the camera on and show him. He's going to take off and he's going to run because he don't want to be in the video. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. He's like, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, so let me add a little bit more of this. because they are not exactly the same size pans. But you know what? Like everything else, you use what you have. Don't go spending extra money unless you have extra money to spend. Just use what you got. Now I'm just scraping the bowl so I can go ahead and it all mixed up. And look, there was no dry powder ingredients here in the center, so I did some good mixing. Okay, now I'm just going to spread this over just a little bit, make it level, because it's going to rise like cornbread. It's going to rise like cornbread. Okay. Now let me put these in the oven. Oh, hubby's going to help me. You're going to be in the video, honey. Here he comes. Say hi. You saw? He really don't like to be in the videos. I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. But while that's cooking, we're going to get to the next phase, and I'll bring you when I get down to that part, okay? We'll bring you back. Thank you, honey. Okay, we're getting ready to mince the garlic, but I wanted to show you this cute little tool. It's from Smart Home, and it's a garlic mincer. What you do, it comes here's a one piece, and then you put the garlic inside this piece, and then it holds down in this piece. But this helps you to mince your garlic. And there's little grooves are on it. See that little grooves there? And then here's what the inside of that looks like. See that? And all you do is twist it. Push and twist. Push and twist. You probably could do more than one piece, but since I'm not very strong on my wrist, look at that. See that? And then here's the other little pieces on that part of it. So I only had to do 3 of these. I may see if I can do 2. I probably can't, but you never know. Well, actually it is working. I'm having to struggle because I don't have any hand wrist power. But it's working. Look at that. Working pretty darn good. Just gonna move some around. I'm gonna take one out because I just don't have enough strength. And it's all encased in that container. No juices or nothing are falling off on me. So I'm not losing anything in doing it this way. I just don't have the hand strength, power. My wrists don't have any, they don't have any strength in them. But you know what? This sure saved me a lot of time and my sticky fingers from touching on the garlic and mincing it myself. Doing it you can do it by hand because it's a small amount. But if you're doing a big batch, and another good thing with this is get yourself like 1 or 2 heads of garlic and mince the whole thing. Put it in an airtight jar, preferably a glass jar, like an old baby food jar. A mason jar would work perfectly. And put a little bit of oil in there, and then you'll have minced oil. And you can also put some flavor in it. Like if somebody likes spicy, like my hubby likes spicy stuff, we can put him some hot oil in there. And he can sprinkle that over his whatever he's eating, eggs, bacon, whatever, breakfast, anything he wants to put it on. But it's already minced for you. And now look. Look at that. See that? I just made myself some minced garlic, and my hands are clean. Well, these 2 fingers are dirty, but other than that, pretty darn good. Let's see. Let's take out. Okay, I smell that. So that's a quick little tip. I'm sure you can find this, Google it or Amazon. Look, check it out. Amazon has everything, so. And you can see the juices of the garlic there. I could use my fingers when I'm doing this, but I don't want to get them all yucky. Because the taco pie asks for minced 3 cloves of minced garlic. So that's what we need for flavor. And we do love garlic here. Yeah, some of this is still not shredded. I could see that. Look at that. I'm going to show you. See that? It didn't get shredded there. So I'm going to put it back. And then mince it again. And it's got little spaces right here where the little spaces fit on from the green part fit into the clear container here. So it all made to fit. Okay, I got it. Yay! Look at that. I did it all. Did it all by myself. Hubby was here. He's right here. Gonna help me, but too late. I got it done. Thank you, honey. Okay, so now we're done with that. Got chopped milk. We're not gonna do onion. We're gonna do onion powder. Hubby don't like it. And then I'm gonna get the rest of my ingredients and we'll put them all together, so that way when the bottom crust is ready to come out, we'll be ready to roll. So I'm gonna leave my mess here. Let me get my phone and my recipe, and I'll bring you over to that next phase. Okay, we're back for the next phase. Getting the, it's almost 20 minutes. Hubby's gonna help me get that out of the oven. Okay, so the next phase asks for, hubby already chopped up the ground beef, so it's been cooked and drained. Okay, and then we're going to add, so let me get my spoon. We actually did 4 pounds of ground beef instead of 2 pounds, but that's okay. Go ahead, come on. I'm over here. He doesn't want to be in the video. I gotta move around. I'm gonna move around over here. He don't want to be seen. So I'm gonna use just about half of this, and then the other half of the cooked ground beef is going to be put in the freezer. Yeah, put them on top of the stove. On the stove top. Okay, it's golden brown. Don't turn it over off. Let me check it. Let me get that cake tester. We're gonna taste the cake to make sure the center of it's cooked. Okay, so he's gonna taste. I'm gonna show you. You put the cake tester in, and if there's liquid, see that? Okay, we'll put it back in the oven. See if you see any juices, then that means that the center's not cooked, so it's got to go back in the oven. We'll put it back in the oven for about another 5 minutes. Oh, I need a towel. Wipe that clean, please. No, just kitchen towel. I use kitchen towels. I use kitchen towels. He uses paper towels. I'm not as frugal. I'm more frugal than him. Okay, so one of them was cooked, but the other one was not, so it's going to go back in the oven for 5 more minutes. I'll go ahead and put that one in. We're going to actually put them both in. Part of it, the big square one, it wasn't cooked at all. It's good it needs at least. Will you set the timer, please, for another 5 minutes? I like to just use my wet towel, because this is a clean kitchen towel. And then we'll leave it there so when it comes out. Okay, so like I was saying, I'm only going to use half of this because we cooked 4 pounds. I thought the recipe asked for 2 pounds. It only asked for 1 pound of ground beef, so that was my fault. So we're going to save about half of this. I'm going to put it in the freezer, label it, and this will be already ready for another meal for the week. So we'll do that a little bit later. Oh, and I spilled. Now, you know, if you had a clean counter, clean tools, you could do what I'm doing here, and I know it is because I wiped it all down before I started. But if it's not clean, just throw this part away. You don't want nobody to get sick. Okay, and it's all see, it's all mixed up. Now I'm just going to add me some onion powder. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon. Oh, my onion powder's a little clumpy. Let me loosen it up. I'm going to do 2. I love my onions. He likes onions as long as he doesn't have to bite into an onion. He likes onion flavor, he just can't stand biting into an onion. I'm going to put all 3 of my cloves that we use in that mincer. And there, look at that. I did such a good job. Look at that. There is nothing on the inside of that at all. All of this is just on the outside where it came out through the holes, which is what you want. This is a really great investment. So do yourself a favor, if you love garlic, and you cook a lot of recipes that include garlic, and I'm just tapping on the bowl to get all the little extra stuff out of there. And then there's my minced garlic. Can't get any easier than that. And it saves you from getting garlic. It gives you sticky fingers, and everything is sticky when you touch it. So that's all. Wipe my fingers. So there's my garlic. I got my ground beef, got my onion, got my garlics, half a teaspoon of salt. So it'll be 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon. Just remember, we're doing a double batch. Oh, I was supposed to have done 6 cloves. I forgot it was 3. So you know what? I'm going to add garlic powder because I don't want to mess my video up and take it longer than it already is. So I'm just going to add garlic powder. And I'm only going to do 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. You can't go wrong if you do extra onion and extra garlic powder if you like those. If you don't like them, then skip it. Or really measure it. Or really do it correctly like the recipe says. But since this is just for a dinner meal, and we're not pressure canning anything. When you're pressure canning is when you really have to be precise with the measurements of the food for pressure canning. But we're not doing that. We're just going to put this in the freezer and have it ready for another meal sometime, probably next week. Okay, 1 teaspoon of cumin. So let's get our cumin. 1 teaspoon. Ah, my spoon won't fit inside there. Nope, that's the wrong side. I need the spoon side. So we want 2 of these. Whoops, that thing was open. Ah! I messed up and I poured and I shouldn't have. I thought it was closed and it wasn't. I was trying to pour it in my spoon. That should be about, see my mess that I just made. I'm going to count that as 1 spoon, 1 teaspoon, and I'm going to go easy on my cumin. Oop. Man, that was a big mess. That was a big mess. I forgot to close these totally shut. That was my fault. Okay, I got my onion powder already in there. I got my salt already in there. Okay, so I've done the ground beef, the ground onion, the cloves, the salt, the cumin. Oh, chili powder. Where did I put my chili powder? I just took it out. You watch me. I bet you I'll put it back. Sure enough, I put it back in the pantry. Haven't even used it yet. Oh, brand new package. And it asks for 1 teaspoon. So 2 teaspoons of, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. I'm reading this right, making sure I'm reading it right. Okay, that's close enough. That's 1, 2. And that's all the ingredients. Hey, where's my top? This is a brand new bottle. Where'd my top go? Huh. Look at this. We got a package. Didn't even realize this. I bought this. Brad, you saw me. Opened it up. It didn't even have a top to it. Man. Do yourself a favor. Watch your stuff when you're buying it. Put this over there in case I'm not done with them. Okay, 10-ounce can of red chili sauce, but let's see what the recipe says how to do it. Meanwhile, ground the ground beef and onion, add the garlic in the last minute, drain, grease, and add salt, cumin, and chili powder. And you want to do all that because you want to do it for flavor, but because we already did this in advance, the ground beef, I'm not doing that phase, but when you're heating up these spices, when you're cooking the ground beef after you've drained it, okay, it gives you more of it sinks in for you a little bit more. Gives you more flavor. So I'm going to mix this up. And yeah, I'm not following the recipe to the T. But when you put it in the oven and you bake it again, it's going to all infuse anyway. But if you want to, put this right back into the frying pan, turn on the heat it all up, simmer it. And then let it simmer. Pops, do I need to take him out of the oven? Yeah. Okay. Are you going to come do it? Okay, he's coming to come do it. Let me get out of the way. So, the recipe says to mix it all up. Well, when do you put the enchilada sauce? Poke holes in the cornbread. Oh, poke holes in the cornbread. Pour 1/2 cup of enchilada sauce over the cornbread. Then save the remainder for the servings. Then spoon the mixture over the cornbread. Oh, I get it. So I'm going to open these up and I'll bring you back when we get to that next phase, okay? He's getting the stuff out of the oven. Okay, we're back. Look how nice and pretty and golden brown. Hubby got this. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Nice and golden brown. This one's not as golden. Ooh, that's hot. I need to double up my hot bits. See that one? Ooh, let me get the glare. There you go. Okay, so we're going to poke holes. I'm just going to use the bottom of a spoon. The oven is still on because you got to put it back in the oven. This kind of reminds me of a poke cake, where you get pudding and you put the pudding inside pour it all over the cake and it goes inside the holes. That tastes good. Oh, Poppy, will you give me some cheese? Okay, so I need some cheese. I just need 1 can. I'm going to poke holes in the pour about half a can in the sauce. I hope I don't make a big mess. I tend to be messy. As y'all can see, I just made a big mess of when I was doing my spice. I'm going to pour a little bit and then make it easier for me to pour it out. Pour a little bit more. Because it says do half the can. So I'm going to do half in this one and half in the other one. And then the other one. So go back out. So it says poke the holes, pour half a cup of enchilada sauce over the cornbread. Save the remainder for serving. Then spoon the meat mixture over the cornbread. Okay, and then we top it with cheese and stuff. Oh, yeah, hubby's reminding me. Spread it. Hubby's the cook in the family, not me. But I'm trying to learn since I'm getting ready close to retirement. Okay, now we're going to pour a mixture over that. That seems heavy. So we pour half of it here. I'm going to pour the other half here, and then I'll smooth out the extra. telling me more and more. It's like, I just know, did he not listen to what I was saying? I'm pouring half of it here, and then I'll pour extra. He wasn't paying attention to me. But then, you know, I am a newbie. He's been cooking for over 12 years. Not me. I think that's going to go in. I just want to make sure they have an equal amount of sauce on top. And be careful, you don't want to put too much sauce in here. Or if you do, make sure you put a cookie sheet underneath it. Otherwise, you'll have a big mess in your oven. Ooh, you can see those pieces of garlic. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so that one's done. That one's done. Now let me sprinkle with some cheese, because it says then split the meat over the mixture of the cornbread, top off with lots of cheese, and we're going to bake it for another 20 minutes. See, when I was in there telling you that about my mixture, it's going to bake again, so all those seasonings, those spices are going to incorporate with the meat as it's baking for that additional 20 minutes. Okay, hubby's going to put it back in the oven. Oh, and I'm going to pour a little bit more of that mixture. I think we need a little bit more of that mixture in here. I'm going to pour it on top, because I think it needs more. I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm just going to dribble some of it. Just from what I've seen other cooks, how they make this taco pie. This is my first time making it from scratch like this. I see them do this with the extra sauce. Okay. Alrighty, hubby's going to put it in the oven. Then we'll bring it back. It's going to bake for another 20 minutes. Oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to be right in front of your face. Then bring it back and cook it. Let it cook for 20 minutes. And then we're going to do the taste test. We'll bring it back. Okay, we're back. And I want to show you. There's one of them came out of the oven. I put the extra sauce on top. Then I put the sheet on top. This other one's going to go in the freezer. So I put the sauce on top. The extra sauce. But I'm not going to put the cheese on top, because I'm going to wrap once it totally cools. I mean, the whole thing, the center and everything is cool to the touch. Then I'll bring it back and I'll show you. Whoops, forgot to turn my camera around. And then I'm going to bring it back and I'll show you how to package it up to get ready. Put it in the freezer. Oh, I felt a lot warm, and the oven just got turned off. And I'll bring it to the, show you how to wrap it to get it ready to freeze, so you don't get freezer burned. This should last in your freezer, if it's wrapped good, for a good 3 to 5 months. Easy, okay? So, I just have my spoon. Where'd I put it? Oh, I forgot I washed it. So let's dig into it. Oh, let me get myself. This is hot. Ooh, yeah, that looks so good. And I'll bring you up so you can see. Look at that, you can see the cornbread and all the fixings. So let that cool off just a minute and get hubby his portion for him. Now, of course, you can top it off with lettuce, add some refried beans, add some salad to go with it to the side. But with all the vegetables in here, that's enough for us. As y'all know, we're not much of vegetable eaters. And go ahead and get all. I like the crunchy parts, so I'm getting the edges of that. And now let's do the taste test. You can see the cornbread puffed up, the corn and all the fixings inside there. Oh man, 2 thumbs up. This is really good. I don't like soggy bread, soggy anything, but it's not overly soggy. It's a little soggy, but not overly soggy. Hubby, you want to take a taste? He said no, he's going to do it off camera. And this is a definite win-win. Try it out for yourself. Post in your comments. I'd love to know how you make your taco pie. This is not a taco enchilada. This is a taco pie. Okay? Don't forget to hit like. Give me some thumbs up. Post me a comment. Let me know. And if there's a recipe you'd like me to try next time, post it in the comments and I'll make sure to add that to my list already of videos that I need to shoot. Take care. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, we are back. We had supper, rested, watched a little TV. Now we're ready to put this stuff away, put the dishes, get the dishes all done. This one's going to be saved for lunches. So I'm going to put those in separate containers. This stuff, put that over there for right now. Here's how we're going to wrap and save this, and then stick it in the freezer for future use. Get any kind of plastic wrap. I'm using this because I got like 3 of these rolls. I want to use these up. These were for a project I was doing, a craft project I was doing. And I got way too many rolls of plastic wrap. But that's okay, because they're not going to get wasted. It's going to get used. And you want to wrap it all the way around. Oops. Oh, I think this is the last of it. Pretty much. Yep. Alrighty, I'm going to turn this back the way it's supposed to go. I like these because it has a blade to cut it. And I like that because it's got the little blade right there so it cuts it for you. Okay, and what you want to do is OCD kicks in and I have to have this straight. I can't handle this all ribbled stuff. Sometimes that OCD of mine just really gets, it's not very useful. Go all the way underneath it. Stretch it out. What you're doing is you're just basically wrapping it. That's what you're doing. But what this is going to do is it's going to prevent it getting from freezer burn. Say, for example, if you don't get to it, say, for 3 to 4 months versus 1 to 2 months. Because, you know, it happens. It's just the way things happen. And you want to get it totally, because air is your enemy when it comes to the freezer. Okay. I'm just pushing this back in the way it's supposed to be. There we go. I took it out. Oh, there's a bug. I hate those. We're in Texas and you get those big old tree bugs. And it's been raining a lot here lately, which is good, which we needed it. Because our grass was turning yellow from lack of water. Okay. So now I'm just going to get my blade and cut it. And that is sealed there. Then we're going to get a thing of foil. I'm doing it this way because the little handles are here, and I want to make sure I totally enclose the whole thing. Now you could, if you wanted to, wrap the whole thing one layer with foil. I choose not to do that. For me, just double wrapping. And besides that, I know we're going to be eating this within 1 to 2 weeks, so this is good. Now, if you are going to be eating this longer than I would say longer than a month, you definitely want to roll all the way around, because what you're trying to do is get rid of all the air. Okay, but we're not doing that. Then I already made my label, and this is a freezer label. So it says taco pie, 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And that's it, because it's already cooked. So now this is going to go in the freezer, and it can be ready for a meal. Alrighty, this is it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget to go in the description box and give me a thumbs up. And I would love a comment from you. How do you do your freezer meals? And then I would love to hear some of the names and the recipes, if you have them, in the comment section, so we can expand our recipe palette for different meals, since we're doing this a lot more for ourselves. Thank you. Have a good one. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.